Alright guys, first thing I eat all day, man. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sprocket. Different type of sprocket, different terminology, different application. So let's start out by defining what everything is. First of all, when you guys come in here and go, hey, I'm looking for a cog. This is a cog. A cog is usually worked in the rear of the bike, where the freewheel usually goes. So what's the difference between a cog and a freewheel? The freewheel screws onto a hub and it has a whole ratchet system inside of it. A cog is just a little ninja star. It's like a miniature front sprocket. We'll get to that later. Cog. So this is a one-piece driver. This is a driver that goes in the rear hub. This is what makes that tick, 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 and propels you when you crank in the rear. So, since this is a small teeth and they machined it into the whole free hub body, if this wasn't there, this would bolt onto this. Alf, I thought you had everything ready. You're fired. This is a blown out profile free hub body, not freewheel, free hub body. This cog goes onto there. Of course, it doesn't want to go on because it's toasted. But you see how all these splines? And see how the cog has all the splines? Well, this slides into there. So this comes in a lot of different sizes. It comes, I think the smallest it comes in is a 12. And it goes all the way up to whatever kingdom come you want to make it. I think the biggest we could probably get is about a 22. So remember, cog, freewheel threads on, free hub one piece body, free hub with a removable cog. This is a sprocket. This is not a sprocket. What is this, guys? Say along with me.
Cog.
Cog. Did you say cog or you said sprocket? Sprocket with a guard. Still sprocket, but it has a guarded sprocket. Now, one more thing. This is not a sprocket or a cog. This is a chain ring because it's a ring and a chain go around it. In order to use a chain ring, you need a spider. Why do they call this a spider when a spider is supposed to have 8 arms? I have no idea. I did not come up with it. So if you notice this thing right here, it's just like this. Here's the crank bolt. Here's the crank bolt. Here it is. Here's the hole. Here's the hole. Same thing here. But this is whole piece. It's pretty universal. This hole, the distance between that hole and this one right here is pretty universal with this. But this is a spider and it bolts up to it like that to make it into a whole sprocket or chain wheel. Not chain ring. So again, scenario, if you're gonna call and you're gonna be like, hey, I'm looking for a sprocket, right away a shop's gonna think the front gear. Hey, I need a freewheel. We're gonna think it's the rear gear that is screwed on. But if you come in, you're like, no, mine is screwed on, then it's a cog. Okay? Or I need a 2-piece sprocket. Fine. Do you need a chain ring, a spider, or it together? Okay. So now we have gotten all that. Let's get into a little bit more detail. A sprocket, just like the spider, if you notice, there is this center bore. This center bore is where the spindle goes in. Typically, it is 24 millimeter bore. Then they give you a little hat washer. Alf, I'm going to still fire you.
Got me on a technicality.
So, if you guys notice, whenever you buy a sprocket, you get a package that comes with these two things. It's called a hat washer. See, it's like a little hat. I call it a reducer. So remember what I said. What is the center? 24, always. 24. So this allows it to become a 22. You have to put it in. So you have a 22, you have to use that. If you have a 19 millimeter spindle, which is on stock bike, use the slightly thicker one. Slide in. Now reduces it. Same thing with this guy. To reduce this into a 19. But there's also another option. There is a, look at that. What is that? This is what they consider a spline drive. This right here, when the spindle goes in, the crank sprocket is bolted in and it moves the sprocket around. Without that, it will just spin and the sprocket stays still. So you need that sprocket bolt on the crank arm that moves it. This doesn't have it. This doesn't have it because it's a spline drive. If you notice all the splines, the spindle slides in it and it marries into the spline, and when it propels, it doesn't need a sprocket bolt. It will crank the whole thing. A spindle, a spline drive sprocket is usually a little bit more sturdy. It doesn't have a little bit of play in it. It's just really hard to get on, really hard to get off. But once you get it on, it's good. So you have to ask some people. Some people are a fan of it, some people not. I'm personally not a fan of it because if you happen to have a little bit of a little misalignment on the manufacturer, this will never go in. You're gonna beat the crap of it and it's not gonna go in. But if you get one that actually proper slides in, it's good. So Profile did something where, if you notice, it has a little star thingy in there. They have an adapter. This little adapter fits into that little star and it makes it into a 19. But they also have it a 22. And sorry, Profile, I don't have it. But they also have one where they make this into a non-spline. So this is really cool because all you have to do is make one sprocket that serves the purpose of this sprocket and this sprocket by just making one sprocket, which is different adapters. So it's very versatile. Here is the spindle bolt that the crank bolt that propels it, but also if you don't want to use that, they integrate it into the design where you can put this adapter on to make it spline. Now some of you guys might think, hey, look at this. This one is removable. Yes, it is. They made that little piece in that little hat washer removable. But if you look at the spline, it's slightly different from the Profile. The Profile is more shallow and fatter. This one will not fit in that. You guys, I've seen you guys try to fit it in there. It's not gonna fit.
But then it wouldn't even have the hole.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, but I'm just saying some people, like, they don't want to pay for the Profile part, and their friend has one of these and they hit it out. They try to hammer it in there. It's not gonna fit. It's not gonna work. And I think that pretty much covers it. There you guys have it. Next time when you guys call me, make sure you guys ask for the right thing, or else I think I'm just gonna kick you guys out.
Get out.
Later, guys.
All right, guys, thank you for watching that tutorial or Tech Thursday on everything you need to know about sprockets, chain wheels, and everything in between. If you want to support, make sure to go to alfredomancuso.com and get an Epic BMX t-shirt or a Brochachi t-shirt. We appreciate the support. And as always, we bring this content to you guys for free. Just make sure to smash the like button. And again, if you want to support, you can do that, or you can watch 10,000 videos. Something there. Anyways, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, follow Epic BMX, follow Max Fu, and I'll see you guys next time.